Hello and welcome to lesson 11.9. This is all about natural logs. We are going to talk about how to evaluate and to solve using natural logs. We've previously talked about common logs. These are a little bit different. As always, this lesson is brought to you by Conolenzo Inc. We're here to help you with whatever you need in your math lessons. Our goals for this lesson are to be able to solve an E equation. Hopefully you know what E is. You watched our previous Edpuzzle and did some work with E. We want you to be able to solve a natural log equation and then to be able to use our calculator appropriately, both to evaluate E and natural logs. So we're going to look at all of those things. Please make sure you have your calculator handy so that you can work through the steps on the calculator as well as writing down the information you need. Natural logs have a base of E, and we use these on our calculator as well. Notice that's the button below the log button. We have the ln button. That stands for natural log. This is another log where the base is not written. Anytime you see an ln, that means that it's a natural log with a base of E. You just put that in your calculator. So if you type in ln of 26, you should get 3.26 something, and we will approximate that to about 3.26. We're going to try to round to 2 decimal places when we do this. So let's evaluate real quickly. The natural log of 14, again, punch that in your calculator, and you should get 2.639, which will round to 2.4. The natural log of 45.2 is 3.811, 09, etc. So we are going to round this to 3.81. And then the natural log of 104, when we punch that in our calculator, we get 4.6443, etc. We will round that to 4.64. So again, we're going to just punch these in our calculator, and we'll be rounding to 2 decimal places. E is also evaluated with a calculator. You can see that that is above the ln button, and we use the second function in order to evaluate E. So when you're typing in E to the third on your calculator, you would type in second, then hit the ln button, and on your screen you should see an E to the power of, then type in 3, and you will get 20.085, etc., which rounds to 20.09. Please punch that in your calculator and make sure that you understand how to do that. You need to be able to evaluate both ln, natural log, and E using your second function with a calculator. So let's take E to the fourth. So we're going to type in second, ln, and then 4, hit enter, and we get 54.598, which would be 0.60. We're going to take E to the 0.7, so second, ln, and then 0.7, and we get 2.013, which is 2.01. And lastly, we'll take E to the 5.2, again, second, ln, 5.2, hit enter, and you get 181.272, so we're going to round that to 27. So we need to be able to evaluate both natural logs and E using our calculators. We use these to help us solve. One undoes the other. So natural logs undo an E. So what we're doing here is when we have E to the x equals 5, we're going to take the natural log of both sides. This is very similar to what we were doing with common logs. But we do this because the natural log and the E, since they both have the same base, cancel. And we're left with x equals whatever the natural log of 5 is. This you can just punch into your calculator. Remember, you're just doing ln of 5, so you're not using that second function. And you get 1.609, so we will say that's approximately 1.61. And that is our solution. So a natural log cancels out the E. They undo each other that way. So we're going to take the natural log on this side as well. Because the natural log and the E cancel, and we're left with 4x equals natural log of 11. This is one of those we're going to have to do an extra step. So we're going to take the natural log of 11, put that in your calculator. You get 2.39, etc. Then we want to divide that by 4. Again, do not clear your calculator. Just hit divided by 4. Then we get an approximate answer of 0.599 or 0.60, okay? And yes, the 0.60 is important there. Remember, we're rounding to 2 decimal places, and we need to show that we've rounded to 2 decimal places. So 0.60 is what our answer needs to be. Let's try a couple more here. Now, when you have an e, you cannot take the natural log of both sides until that e is by itself. So on this one, 5e to the x minus 7 equals 2, we're going to have to do some work to isolate that e. We're going to start out by adding 7 to both sides. And we're left with 5 times e to the x equals 9. Now we're going to divide with both sides by 5. And we get e to the x equals 9 over 5. Now is when we can take the natural log of both sides, because that will cancel the e, and we will get x is approximately equal to whatever the natural log of 9/5 is. And you can use your fraction button for this. So type in natural log, 9 over 5, hit enter, and you get 0.5877, which would be 0.59. And that is the approximate solution. So now might be a good time to pause the video, try the second equation, and see how far you get, okay? We're going to start by simplifying. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides, and then we're going to divide by 3. Now notice on the last one I showed all my work for this. I did not over here. It is our expectation that you can do some of this work mentally and not have to show every single step, okay? So we're now down to e to the 2x equals 2. Here's where we can take the natural log of both sides, because that will cancel the e, and we're going to be left with negative 2x equals whatever the natural log of 2 is. Once we get that, we will be dividing our answer by negative 2 in order to get x. Grab your calculator, type in the natural log of 2, which is 0.69, etc., and divide that by negative 2. And we get negative 0.346, so 35. Hopefully you feel like you're understanding how to solve using natural log to undo an e equation. We're also going to use e to undo a natural log. They are inverses of each other, so they work together. So when we have ln of x is approximately equal to 0.69, we need to figure out what x is. We do that by taking e to the power of both sides, because the e and the ln cancel out again. And we're going to be left with x is approximately equal to whatever e to the power of 0.69 is. Go ahead and punch that in your calculator. So second ln and then 0.69. And we get 1.9937, so that's 1.99 is our solution. Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here. On this next one, we're going to take e to the power of both sides, and we're going to end up with 5g is equal to whatever e to the power of 3.77 is. Once we get that, though, we're going to have to go one step farther, and we're going to have to divide both sides by 5. That will get g alone, and we can figure out what it is. So start with e to the power of 3.77. Remember, you're using that second ln. And then you get 43.3 whatever divided by 5 gives us 8.676 or 8.68. And that is our solution. Let's try a couple more here. Remember, we're always getting rid of the natural log by taking e to the power of both sides. So we get 5x is equal to whatever e to the power of 4 is. And then we're going to divide both sides by 5. So we're going to take e to the power of 4, which is 54.59, etc. We're going to divide that by 5, and we get 10.92. 919, so I'm going to round that to 10.92. So one more here, we are taking e to the power of this, and we're going to get x minus 1 equals e to the power of negative 2, and then we're going to add 1 to both sides. Take e to the negative 2 power first. So e to the negative 2 is 0.135, etc. Then plus 1 gives you 1.135, etc., or 1.14, since we're rounding to 2 decimal places. Okay, again, you're not clearing your screen. Just keep doing this process all together. But anytime you have a 5x, an x minus 1, an x plus 2, whatever. Take e to the power of, and then you're going to add or subtract or undo whatever that other piece is there, okay? Hopefully, after this lesson, you are able to evaluate e using your calculator, evaluate natural logs using your calculator. Remember that the word evaluate is what tells you to get your calculator out. I hope you're also able to solve equations with e by using a natural log and solve equations with natural logs by using e. Keep up the great work that you're doing. We're almost done with this unit. Hopefully you are feeling very confident about things. If you're not, contact your teacher and let us know what we can do to help, okay? Otherwise, take care. Have an awesome time doing math.